What if the next world war does not begin with missiles but with a miscalculation? A drone in the wrong airspace, a warship crossing an invisible line, a cyber attack no one claims but everyone retaliates for. As we step into 2025, the world is walking a tightrope. Alliances are fraying, weapons are advancing, and the rules of global conflict are being rewritten in real time. In this episode of Global IQ, we are counting down the top 5 global conflicts that could erupt this year. These are not just regional tensions. Each one has the potential to reshape the entire world. Some are decades in the making, others are erupting right now. Watch closely, because the most dangerous part of this list is not what we know. It is how fast everything could change. Let us dive in. The South China Sea has become the most contested body of water on Earth. China claims nearly the entire region, despite international rulings against it. To enforce this claim, it has built artificial islands and militarized them with airstrips, radar systems, and missile launchers. Every year, this strategic waterway carries over $3 trillion in trade, and the entire world economy depends on its stability. In 2024, the situation escalated. Chinese vessels fired water cannons at Philippine boats. United States warships responded by increasing patrols, leading to dangerous near collisions. As 2025 unfolds, these close calls are becoming more frequent and more reckless. With U.S. allies like Japan and Australia now involved, a single mistake could drag multiple countries into direct conflict. This is not just a fight over territory. It is a struggle for control of global trade routes, natural gas reserves, and influence in the Indo-Pacific. If the South China Sea erupts, the entire region could be pulled into a modern-day naval war with nuclear-armed players on both sides. The war in Ukraine continues to grind on, but the more dangerous tension may be building between Russia and NATO itself. Since 2022, NATO has expanded with Finland and Sweden joining, extending its border with Russia by hundreds of miles. In response, Moscow has begun deploying nuclear-capable missiles to Kaliningrad and stepping up military exercises near NATO's eastern flank. Cyber attacks have intensified, airspace violations are rising, and Russian forces have tested NATO defenses in places like Estonia and Poland. The fear is not a planned invasion, it is an accident. A Russian missile goes off course. A NATO pilot fires back. Suddenly, Article 5 is triggered and a localized incident becomes an international war. The risk is not just conventional warfare. If Russia feels cornered, it may resort to cyber attacks, energy disruption, or even tactical nuclear weapons. The balance of deterrence is delicate. One false move and Europe could face its most dangerous crisis since the Cold War. Taiwan may be the most valuable island in the world, not because of its size, but because of its chips. The nation produces more than 60% of the world's semiconductors and nearly all of the most advanced ones. These tiny components power everything from smartphones to satellites, and global supply chains depend on Taiwan staying free and connected. In early 2025, Taiwan elected a leader favoring independence, a red line for Beijing. In response, China began large-scale military drills, simulated blockades, and cyber attacks on Taiwanese infrastructure. While a full invasion remains unlikely in the short term, the strategy now appears to be slow strangulation, cutting off Taiwan economically, digitally, and diplomatically. If China pushes too hard, the United States and regional allies may respond with military escorts, economic sanctions, or even defensive deployments. That could trigger the very war everyone wants to avoid. A conflict over Taiwan would not just disrupt Asia. It could crash the global tech economy in days. The Middle East has been on edge for decades, but 2025 may be the year everything boils over. Iran is now closer than ever to building a nuclear weapon, with uranium enrichment levels near weapons grade and ballistic missile systems already in place. The international nuclear deal is all but dead, and inspections are becoming increasingly restricted. Israel has made its position clear. It will not allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. Military leaders have begun open discussions of preemptive strikes a scenario that could unfold in hours, not weeks. If Israel attacks, Iran would likely respond through its regional proxies, including Hezbollah in Lebanon, militias in Iraq and Syria, and possibly strikes on U.S. bases in the region. This would not be a short, contained operation. It could trigger a regional war stretching from the Mediterranean to the Persian Gulf, disrupting global oil supplies and dragging in major powers. The fuse is short, the stakes are massive, and the moment of decision is rapidly approaching. Not every global conflict starts with bombs and borders. Some start with a food shortage, a rigged election, or a climate disaster. In 2025, several fragile states are dangerously close to collapse. Sudan is caught in a civil war. Haiti is ruled by gangs. Myanmar remains under military dictatorship, and Venezuela teeters on the edge of political and economic freefall. When governments collapse, the impact does not stay local. Refugees flood into neighboring countries. Armed groups take advantage of the chaos. Diseases spread, economies destabilize, and global powers, including China, Russia, and the United States, often step in to pick sides. These slow-burning crises may not grab headlines, but they create shockwaves that reshape regions. Add in climate-driven droughts, food insecurity, and corrupt regimes, and the risk is not just chaos, but contagion. Fragile states do not just fall apart, they pull others down with them. What ties all of this together is a world that is becoming more volatile, more unpredictable, and more interconnected than ever. From great power rivalries to state collapse, these 5 flashpoints reveal a new kind of global danger, one that spreads faster, escalates harder, and is harder to stop than anything we have seen before. 2025 may go down as the year we avoided global disaster, or the year history split in a new direction. The warning signs are there. The question is, will anyone listen? Now it is your turn. Which of these global hotspots do you think is most likely to erupt this year? Which one is the world least prepared for? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. If this video gave you a new perspective on global risk, give it a like, and do not forget to subscribe to Global IQ for deeper insight into the world's biggest turning points. Until next time, stay informed, stay alert, and stay global.